De Koninck Bolleke.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. Every now and again a beer comes along that I only buy for the sheer fact that the 5-year-old kid inside my head can say words like Bolleke with a straight face and actually try and be serious for once in their lives. But seriously, that is the only reason I bought this beer. I saw it, I think it was on Beer Sniffers, I saw this, and no it wasn't, I'll tell a lie, it was on Noble Green. And I've seen it before, and it is the beer of Antwerp. If you've ever been to Antwerp in Belgium, this stuff is everywhere, and it's what they serve. You don't ask for this, you don't ask for a De Koninck, you just ask for a Bolleke. Fuck off. For those of you outside of the United Kingdom or Ireland, bollocks is slang for your balls, alright? That's why I'm laughing, because Bolleke sounds, or if you give someone a bollocking, it means you tell them off, or you have a go at them, you go mad at them, as you would say in the United States. But yeah, I'm going to fucking stop there, because this is just going to descend into farce if I just keep laughing every time I say Bolleke. Fuck off. Right, the reason it's called Bolleke. Oh, shut up. Shut the fuck up, you idiot. Right, the reason it's called Bolleke is that's what they call a glass full of beer. And the glass that it's served in is very similar to this. Now, this is a chalice, but if you look at the pictures of this stuff being served, it does look like that glass. But this beer is quite interesting. It's unique to Antwerp. That's where it's renowned, and it's available on draft there. It's available in bottles, and most of the people in Antwerp drink it. The De Koninck Brewery are owned by Devel Morgat. You know, Devel, famous Belgian beer. Well, that's who owns this lot. But they act quite autonomous within that group, so they're not really bound to their sort of restrictions and whatnot. You know, they're given a sort of a free rein to do more or less what they want in terms of brewing anyway. And this beer is called a Belgian Special. That's how it's sort of classified, if you like, and it is a little bit different. It's top fermented apparently, and it contains Saaz hops, which of course is it's a Czech noble hop from the Czech Republic. And it is not brewed with any sugar, it's not brewed with anything sort of fancy, it's just the basic malt, hops, yeast, and of course water as well. And it's got quite good reviews online from things like Rate Beer and stuff like that. They do rate it, and apparently there is a unique way of pouring it. I am probably going to fuck it up, but I will try anyway. As I say, it's quite well renowned in Antwerp. You know, everywhere you go you will see this. And I have heard of De Koninck before, but they only do apparently 3 beers. Now, I don't know how true that is, because I've seen them do a triple, and they do a winter beer as well. They call it a winter Koninck, I think it is. That's a seasonal beer. But I've seen them do other stuff as well, so I'm not sure whether it's just the 3 beers that they actually brew. But anyway, let's stop gassing and let's get this beer open. Right, before we do, quickly, let's just investigate what it actually is. It's 5.2%. It is a 330ml bottle. It is on the IBUs, or the International Bittering Units, it's 23. So that's quite low. That's the sort of sort of bitterness you get from a lager, if you like. And yeah, everything else on this looks to be in either French or Flemish. It's got the ingredients. I've just told you what the ingredients are. And it is a Belgian family product. If you look at that label there, can you see it? That's what they put on the bottles that are family-run breweries. And of course, the De Koninck Brewery is a family-run brewery, and it has been so since 1833. So that's why it's got that stamp. Anyway, let's stop gassing and let's get the bollocks open. Right, let's see if I can keep a straight face and try not to say, let's get your bollocks out. There is the cap. Come on, autofocus. Don't fuck about. There you go. There you go. Calm down, you fucking twat. There you go. Right, let's get this bollock into the bollock. Now apparently you got to let this stand for a little bit and then you pour it again. This chalice is fucking filthy. Oh, do you know what? I can smell that from here, and while I'm letting it settle, God, really smell them sour hops. They just leap out at me. That's the first thing. A load of earthy, spicy, hay type flavour, aromas that come out from there. And I'm sure that's the Sarts hops. It does. Wow. That really is strong on the hops. There, that's more or less how you're supposed to pour it, and it's supposed to have a head on it as well, like that. Now, there's a lot of carbonation in there. It's almost like a chestnut colour. Looks like a bitter, if you like. But yeah, there's a lot of that hop character just jumping out at me. And a little touch of caramel malt as well. This is going to be interesting. Let's get the bollocks down the hatch. Good elf. That's interesting. That is actually quite complex. There's big hops in that, but I don't mean, you know, your American hops. This is more your earthy, spicy hops, noble hops, of course. Very Germanic in its flavour. There is caramel malt on there. I am getting that, but there's also like a yeasty sort of ester that's coming off that, which is, I'm trying to work it out. It's slightly spicy, but it's slightly banana-y as well. A typical Belgian style yeast, if you know what I mean. Carbonation is quite big on this, and if you look at it in the glass, you can see why. That does translate into the mouthfeel. But I do find with these Belgian beers, it's there. You do know it's there, but it's not aggressive and it's not abrasive. It is just borderline aggressive, if you know what I mean. And it does help to push the flavours around the mouth. That is a fact, because you can just feel it just bubbling away. It's like a very, very watered down double with a lot of carbonation, which makes it very drinkable. Now, if you like Belgian doubles, but the ABV on them sort of puts you off and you find them a bit rich, this could be a good little alternative, because this is very drinkable, but you're getting what I'm perceiving as a sort of watered down double. And when I say watered down, I don't mean that in a bad way. I should rephrase that actually. I should say it's more of a drinkable double, even though it's not a double. This is, you know, this is a beer on its own. You know, it's very clear. Your doubles are normally quite cloudy. This looks like it's been sort of filtered somewhat. When it is quite cold, I wouldn't say it's cold, it's chilled, it's come out of the fridge. Look at that mountain of carbonation in there. That is huge. He's doing it again. He's trying to get in. He smelt the beer. That's really nice. And the more it sort of warms up, the more I'm getting them flavours. But for its drinkability, that is quite complex. And it's really nice actually. I am liking this. And at 5.2%, that is quite drinkable. You could sink a fair few of these, and I can see why it's popular in Antwerp, because, you know, 5.2% is the sort of beer you could have, like, and there's 330ml bottles as well, and it will be served in something like that, very, very similar to that chalice style glass. And you could drink quite a few of them. I'd imagine if it's served on tap, that would be a lot cleaner. The carbonation might be a bit less, and the head would be bigger. But you'd still get all them lovely flavours. And that's, you know, caramel malt, earthiness, and like a herbal type flavour from the Saaz hops. The Saaz hops, you really do, and especially on the initial mouthfuls, you do get a lot of that in the flavour. But there's, from the yeast, you do get that like sort of banana-y, spicy ester coming off the yeast. And it's all toned down. So if you're thinking double, think a very toned down double. And altogether, that makes a very nice drink indeed. So what's the verdict on Bolleke? Well, apart from the name, very nice, I have to say. This has got quite a lot of flavours going on. And, you know, even now, it's warming up now, and I'm still getting some more big aromas off that. It's really nice. I am impressed with that. I definitely recommend this. I do apologise. That was a delivery from Beer Sniffers. No, it wasn't the postman, and no, it's not early in the morning. It is now, what is that, 10 past 5. Where was I on this? Yeah, really interesting beer. I think that is an absolute winner. It's the beer you'd like to drink if you're a fan of doubles, but you just find the doubles a little bit too rich. I think this is a toned down double. That's what it's reminding me of. Now, some people may get different flavours from that, but the caramel malts it's not as sweet as a double, and the body isn't as rich, but you've got more noble hop character in that, and you've also got lovely bit of caramel malt on that as well, which does come through nicely. But then you've got them yeasty esters that you also get in the double, but they're bigger. The flavours are much bigger in a double. This is toned down a little bit, and altogether it makes it very drinkable indeed. I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. I really like that. That is a good one, and I definitely recommend that. And they do that on, at the moment, Noble Green are doing that. I've seen it on Beers of Europe. It's out of stock a lot of the time on Beers of Europe, but Noble Green are doing it at the moment. Really recommend it. This is a very nice beer indeed. And remember, beer is working class champagne.